Are family members draining your energy after 60? Here's what you need to know. Ever felt like certain family members leave you feeling completely drained, emotionally, mentally, and even physically? It's as if every interaction with them pulls you further from peace and closer to stress, guilt, or frustration. And as you age, maintaining your health, happiness, and peace of mind becomes more important than ever. But here's the question. Are there specific relatives you should start avoiding after 60 to safeguard your well-being? Today, we're uncovering 6 types of family members that might be silently sabotaging your emotional balance. And trust me, when we get to number 4, you'll be surprised. It's one that many people overlook. So stick around because this could transform how you prioritize your relationships and protect your happiness. Challenges. Stress is one of the leading contributors to health issues like heart disease, high blood pressure, weakened immunity, and sleep disturbances. Being constantly caught in someone else's emotional chaos doesn't just steal your peace of mind, it can harm your body too. Think of your energy as a limited resource. Every minute spent in someone else's drama is a minute taken away from pursuing hobbies, enjoying your family, or simply relaxing. Over time, this emotional wear and tear can lead to burnout, anxiety, or even depression. So, what can you do about it? The first step is awareness. If you notice a certain relative always dragging you into their chaos, acknowledge it. Be clear about what you're willing to engage in. For example, if they call you with endless complaints, politely steer the conversation in a more positive direction or limit the call's duration. And yes, it's okay to take a step back from overly draining relationships. This doesn't mean cutting them off entirely, just creating distance to protect your well-being. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's a form of self-care, and it's essential as you age to ensure that your emotional energy goes to people and activities that uplift you. Number 2. The money leech relative. Now, let's talk about a family member who can quietly but consistently wreak havoc on your finances and peace of mind. The money leech. You probably know who I'm talking about. This is the relative who always seems to have a financial crisis brewing, and you've somehow become their go-to solution. Whether it's a last-minute emergency, a business idea they just need a little help getting off the ground, or a sob story about overdue bills, they always manage to show up with their hand out. And if you hesitate to help, cue the guilt trip. They'll say things like, "You're the only one I can turn to," or "I thought family was supposed to support each other." Suddenly, you're painted as the villain for protecting your own financial security. Why is this especially dangerous after 60? Here's the hard truth. Once you're living on a fixed income, whether it's a pension, savings, or Social Security, every dollar counts. Your retirement years should be focused on stability, comfort, and enjoying the fruits of your hard work, not on bailing out a financially irresponsible family member. Repeatedly lending money to a relative can drain your savings faster than you realize, and the emotional toll is just as severe. Over time, these requests can breed resentment and frustration. You might even begin to question whether their relationship with you is genuine or purely transactional. Worse still, by consistently giving in, you're enabling their unhealthy financial habits, preventing them from taking responsibility for their own situation. So how do you handle a money leech without damaging the relationship or your finances? Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a responsible one. You might say something like, "I'm sorry, but I'm not in a position to lend money." Keep it simple and don't over-explain. If you feel compelled to help, offer alternatives that don't involve money. For example, you could help them brainstorm a budget, guide them toward financial resources, or even help them find a part-time job. Be clear that your financial support is off the table. This isn't about being unkind, it's about protecting your well-being. Remember that your hard-earned savings are for you. You've worked a lifetime to ensure your financial security, and you deserve to enjoy it without guilt. The reality is, you can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritizing your financial health allows you to live with peace of mind and ensures that you're in a stable position to support those who truly need it, like yourself. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to protect your peace. You've earned the right to enjoy your later years without feeling obligated to rescue others from their poor decisions. True family support doesn't come from guilt. It comes from love, respect, and mutual understanding. Number 3. The always right relative. Now, let's address another family member who can be quietly exhausting: the always right relative. This is the person who seems to believe they have a PhD in your life. No matter the subject, your health, your lifestyle, your finances, or even the most personal choices, they're convinced they know better than you. Try to share your thoughts or experiences, they'll quickly dismiss them. Offer a differing opinion, it's immediately wrong because, well, they're always right. Conversations with them often feel less like an exchange of ideas and more like a one-sided lecture. Why is this type of relative so draining, especially after 60? As you age, your priorities naturally shift toward peace, comfort, and enjoying the life you've built. But being around someone who constantly invalidates your opinions or questions your decisions can chip away at that peace. Here's what can happen. Their dismissive attitude can leave you feeling unheard or unvalued, leading to frustration that lingers long after the conversation ends. If someone repeatedly questions your choices, you may begin to second-guess yourself. Over time, this can affect your self-assurance, making you hesitant to trust your own instincts. Constantly navigating their need to correct you can become tiring, taking energy away from the things that truly matter to you. And let's not forget, you've spent decades building your knowledge, making decisions, and learning from experience. Your opinions and choices are valid and deserve respect, not dismissal. So how do you deal with an always right relative? Sometimes all they want is to feel heard. A simple, "Thanks for sharing your thoughts," can go a long way. But don't let it turn into an argument or an opening for them to dominate the conversation. Gently remind them that, while you appreciate their input, you are confident in your decisions. For example, you might say, "I respect your perspective, but I've thought this through and am happy with my choice." If the discussion becomes too one-sided, steer it toward a neutral topic. Talking about shared interests or lighthearted subjects can prevent things from escalating. If their behavior consistently leaves you feeling drained, it's okay to step back. Protecting your emotional health isn't selfish, it's essential. Why this matters? Your later years should be about enjoying the freedom to live life on your terms. Surrounding yourself with people who respect and support you, not those who make you feel small or wrong, will help you preserve your peace of mind. It's okay to disagree with someone, even a family member. You've earned the right to make your own choices and live according to your values. Standing firm in your beliefs doesn't just protect your confidence, it ensures that you remain in control of your happiness. Number 4. The guilt trip relative. Let's talk about one of the trickiest family members to deal with, the guilt trip relative. You know the type. They have an uncanny ability to make you feel like you're letting the whole family down if you don't comply with their demands. They'll say things like, "After everything I've done for you, how could you say no? I guess I just expected more from you. I thought you cared, but clearly I was wrong." It's like they've mastered the art of emotional manipulation, knowing exactly how to pull at your heartstrings and push your guilt buttons. Why should you be cautious of this relative after 60? The guilt trip game is emotionally exhausting, and the older you get, the more important it is to guard your mental and emotional well-being. Here's why this behavior is particularly harmful. Being made to feel guilty repeatedly can lead to anxiety, self-doubt, and even depression. It can rob you of the joy you should be experiencing in this stage of your life. Over time, the constant guilt can build resentment. You might find yourself avoiding not just this relative, but family gatherings altogether to escape the manipulation. When you give in to their guilt, it sets a precedent. They'll continue to rely on this tactic, leaving you caught in a never-ending loop of saying yes to things that don't align with your needs or desires. Your later years are meant to be filled with peace, relaxation, and doing the things you love, not being burdened by someone else's unreasonable expectations. So, how do you handle the guilt trip relative? The first step is identifying when someone is trying to make you feel guilty. Pay attention to the phrases they use and how they make you feel. Practice saying no in a calm, respectful manner. For example, you might say, "I understand how you feel, but I can't commit to that." Avoid over-explaining or justifying your decision. They may see it as an opening to argue. Clearly communicate what you're willing to do and what you're not. For instance, if they often expect you to drop everything to help, let them know you have your own commitments and can only assist when it works for you. Remind yourself that saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you human. You've spent years prioritizing others. Now it's time to focus on your well-being. If the guilt tripping persists, it's okay to create some distance. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and bring positivity into your life. Why it's so important? Every time you allow someone to guilt you into doing something, you're giving away a piece of your emotional energy. Energy that could be spent on things that truly matter to you. Protecting your peace of mind is not selfish, it's self-care. You've earned the right to live life on your terms, free from unnecessary stress or emotional manipulation. The guilt trip relative may not change overnight, but you can control how much influence they have over your life. Stand firm, set your boundaries, and remember, it's okay to prioritize yourself. Number 5. The toxic caretaker. Relative. Here's one that might truly catch you off guard: the toxic caretaker relative. At first, they may seem like a blessing, the kind of person who goes above and beyond to look after you. They offer to help with errands, manage your health appointments, and even make decisions for you. On the surface, they come across as supportive, selfless, and reliable, the perfect caregiver. But underneath their helpfulness lies a hidden agenda. Control. They don't just assist you, they take over. Slowly but surely, they begin to undermine your independence, chipping away at your confidence. They may convince you that you're no longer capable of handling things on your own, whether it's managing your finances, making health decisions, or even planning your day. And before you know it, you're trapped. Why is this type of relative so harmful after 60? The golden years are a time when maintaining your independence becomes more important than ever. It's about living life on your terms and making decisions that align with your values and needs. A toxic caretaker disrupts this balance, creating a dependency trap that can feel impossible to escape. Here's why this behavior is especially dangerous. Gradually, you might start to believe their narrative that you're incapable of managing your own life. This can lead to a significant loss of control over decisions that affect your health, finances, and overall happiness. The more they take over, the more your confidence diminishes. You may second-guess your abilities, even in areas where you've always excelled. Being dependent on someone who controls rather than supports can leave you feeling helpless, frustrated, and resentful. What's the solution? The first step is acknowledging the difference between genuine care and toxic control. A true caregiver empowers you and respects your decisions. A toxic one diminishes your voice and pushes their own agenda. Start by taking back control of areas where you feel comfortable, whether it's managing your own schedule, handling your finances, or making decisions about your health. Trust yourself. You've navigated life for decades. You're more capable than they might want you to believe. Have an open and respectful conversation about your expectations. For instance, let them know that while you appreciate their help, certain decisions are yours to make. If they resist, stand firm. Your autonomy is non-negotiable. If you require help, consider reaching out to professionals such as caregivers, financial advisors, or medical practitioners. These individuals provide unbiased, competent support without the emotional complications of a controlling relative. If you're struggling to set boundaries, involve other family members or close friends. They can help mediate conversations and provide a support system to reinforce your independence. Why this matters? Your later years should be about enjoying life on your terms, not being micromanaged by someone else. Maintaining autonomy isn't just about daily decisions, it's about preserving your dignity, confidence, and happiness. Nanga. The toxic caretaker may believe they're acting in your best interest, but you have every right to set the boundaries that protect your independence. Trust yourself, prioritize your well-being, and remember, You're the one in charge of your life. Number 6. The perfect image relative. Finally, let's talk about the perfect image relative. You know the one. They're always showcasing their seemingly flawless life. Their family is picture perfect. Their career is thriving. Their vacations look like they're straight out of a travel magazine, and every social media post radiates perfection. It's like they've mastered the art of curating an image that screams, "Look how perfect my life is." They might constantly share stories about their incredible accomplishments. Subtly, or not so subtly, compare their choices to yours, always implying theirs are better. Create a narrative that their life is the gold standard for success and happiness. On the surface, they may seem harmless, even inspiring, but the constant display of perfection can be emotionally draining and, frankly, overwhelming. Why should you be cautious of this relative as you age? The issue with the perfect image relative isn't necessarily them, it's the pressure their curated life can put on you. Here's why this can be harmful. Their perfect life may make you question your own choices, achievements, or lifestyle. But remember, what you see is often just the highlight reel, not the full story. If you're constantly comparing yourself to them, it's easy to feel like you're falling short. Over time, this can chip away at your confidence and leave you feeling inadequate. Trying to measure up to someone else's version of perfection can create undue pressure, especially in your later years when your focus should be on enjoying life, not competing. The truth is, nobody's life is perfect. Behind the scenes, the perfect image relative has their own struggles, insecurities, and challenges, just like everyone else. How can you handle this type of relative? The first step is recognizing that their journey is not yours. Your life is unique and your accomplishments are just as valuable, even if they don't come with Instagram-worthy photos. Take time to reflect on what brings you joy, fulfillment, and peace. Your happiness isn't defined by anyone else's standards. Celebrate the things that make your life meaningful. If their constant showcasing becomes too much, it's okay to step back. You don't need to engage with every story, post, or conversation. Protect your emotional well-being by limiting exposure when necessary. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on being authentic. Life isn't about looking flawless, it's about being true to yourself and finding joy in the little things. Why this matters? As you age, your priorities naturally shift. This time in your life is about embracing your journey, cherishing the relationships that uplift you, and finding contentment in being yourself, not living in someone else's shadow. The perfect image relative may look like they have it all together, but remember, what you see is just the surface. Don't let their highlight reel dictate how you feel about your own life. Success isn't about fitting into someone else's mold, it's about living authentically, on your terms. And there you have it. The 6 relatives to avoid after 60 for your health, happiness, and peace of mind. Here's a quick recap. The drama queen relative, the money leech relative, the always right relative, the guilt trip relative, the toxic caretaker relative, the perfect image relative. At the end of the day, it's all about setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and prioritizing your well-being. Life after 60 should be about enjoying the fruits of your hard work, not letting others drain your joy or peace. What do you think? Did any of these resonate with you? Or do you have other types of relatives you'd add to this list? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and remember to live authentically and on your own terms. See you in the next video.